Good morning, my dear students, and welcome to our online class of no, sorry, not maths, of physics. And today we are going to have the conceptual knowledge of solving the problems of our chapter, that is magnetic effects of electric current, and we are going to see basically today the problems based on the magnetic field due to a current carrying wires of different configurations. It means in class 10th, in our class 10th syllabus, we have to uh, understand and see and discuss about the three configurations, that is straight current carrying wire, circular loop current carrying wire, and the last, that is third one, that is solenoid. So we are going to see the problems based on these. Okay, so let us start our discussion without wasting more time. Okay, I hope so that you people will understand the things what I am going to discuss with you all. Okay, so in case if you find any problem, please let me know. Okay, so let us start now. So the first question which I am going to discuss with you people is, okay, now today I am going to discuss the NCERT exemplar problems basically of this particular topic. I hope so that all of you will understand it and definitely enhance your understanding of solving these types of problems. And this is the NCERT exemplars is one of the very good book of problems. So let us start. I think you people are able to see the question easily. Yeah, you can. Okay, so let us start it with it. The first question is saying a magnetic compass needle is placed in the plane of the paper near the point A as shown in figure 13.6. Okay, where is the figure 13.6? The figure is right here. I hope so that all of you can see the figure. Yes, all of you can see the figures. Okay, this flash is coming. Yeah, this is the figure. Okay, figure 13.6. So this is the magnetic compass. A point A is over there, and this is magnetic compass as it is placed in the plane of the paper. Now let us move to understand more question. Let us read out the questions more so that we can understand it more. Okay, after this, what it is saying that figure 13.6, in which plane should a straight current carrying conductor be placed so that it passes through A and there is no change in the deflection of the compass. Okay, so we will have to keep a current carrying wire which will pass through point A in such a way so that there occurs no change in the deflection. It means there occurs no change in the needle orientation, okay, of the compass. So how we are going to place that? Current carrying straight, let us suppose that this is a straight current carrying wire and we have to do the same thing with this. Okay, I'll show you more. At last, let us see under what conditions is the deflection maximum y. Okay, so let us now try to understand this question. Okay, I hope so that all of you will get the question. So I think we have understood the question first. Okay, now so for more understanding I had brought up one this bangle for you people, so to make you understand properly. And let us suppose this is the needle and we are having a magnetic compass. I hope so that all of you are getting it. It's not an issue to understand more. Okay, now let us try to understand more. Now this is a current carrying wire. Now we have to place it in which way so that there occurs no deflection in it. Okay, it means initially if we rotate it, so obviously it will show the deflection according to the Earth's magnetic field. So it will show the magnetic the deflection, so let the deflection be there, but after a certain time when I'll just fix its orientation, so it is going to be stationary. Now there occurs no change in its deflection. Okay, which means whatever deflection it is started showing, so let it be like that. And now we have to place the, let us suppose that the point A we have taken over here, a small point A according to the question. Okay, we had taken over here. So now we are going to place it. Okay, so before making you understand about this question, you should know about the magnetic field lines. It means how the magnetic field lines will placed. Let us suppose that we are having a current carrying wire. So what will happen? We will have to find out the magnetic field directions at this particular point. So what we'll do? We'll keep our thumb, Maxwell's right hand thumb rule. So we'll keep our thumb along the direction of the current and we will rotate our finger. So as our finger will rotate, so there occurs the field lines across it. Okay, I'm just using it. So it means, let us suppose the wire is moving like this. So this is, you can see like this, okay, and this is the horizontal position. So the field lines will like this, and if we want to find out the direction of magnetic field at this particular point, so we'll just draw, because this is like this. Okay, so a clockwise rotation is there, so just a tangent we'll have to draw. It will be like this. See, it will be like this, a tangent will be there. I think you will have understood this thing. This is a very simple stuff. Okay, so it means the deflection will be like this, okay. So you can see the plane. Okay, so it is perpendicular to the plane of paper. It means the compass is being uh, kept perpendicular, then only the deflection will be there. Okay, but if I'll keep it like this, okay, so instead of keeping the compass, you see this, a compass is in the plane of paper and I am keeping the wire over here. So if there occurs a change, the magnetic field lines is going to be made like this. Okay, it is going to be a circle like this. Okay, so it should be placed like this. It should be placed like this, so that a deflection can occur in its needle, because the field lines are becoming like this, but perpendicular to this plane of paper. So I hope so that you will understanding. So it means if we place, okay, just a second. So I hope so that you will understanding. If we place the wire in the plane of paper, so to deflect, show the deflection, it should be kept like this. It should be kept like this, but we are actually keeping it like this, and it cannot go inside the paper, or it cannot, because it is already hinged over here, and it cannot show deflection up also. So it means there occurs no deflection, because it cannot show the deflection, the motion in the vertical direction. So I think so that you people have understood this thing. So it is very easy to make you people understand. Okay, so it means when we place a current carrying wire in the plane of paper, so there occurs no change in the deflection of the magnetic needle. Is it clear to everyone? I hope so that this must be clear to everyone. It is very easy to understand. Okay, now let's move on to the next problem. So what is saying in this question only, under what conditions the deflection maximum? So the deflection maximum, what we can do, we don't have to do anything else. We'll simply keep this current carrying wire perpendicular to the plane of wire. You can see now, see the magnetic field lines will be there, and easily we can get the tangents. So I hope so that you people are understanding. So this can be placed like this, and we can easily get the deflection in the needle. Okay, so this deflection is going to be the maximum. Just a second. Okay, so if we keep it like this, so it will obviously deflect like this. Okay, and it is in the plane of wave, so it will show the deflection this way, either this or this. It can show the deflection easily. So the deflection will be maximum. And when you people go in your class 12th, so there you will have to study about the magnitudes of the magnetic field. So from there you get to know that the magnitude of magnetic fields, it means there are some relations between the currents and other things will be there. So there you get to know that if the angle is going to be perpendicular 90 degrees, so there occurs the maximum magnetic field. Okay, so for this why we can give this reason only. Okay, now just let us move on to another problem. So another problem I am having. So before going through the another problems of NCERT exemplar, let us go for this problem. And this is also one of the very good question. This is actually related to the circular loop current carrying a current. Okay, a circular loop carrying a current is placed on a horizontal surface as seen from above. Let us see. This is a circular wire. Okay, it is carrying current in the, okay, as seen from above, the current is in the clockwise direction. So we are seeing it from the top. So you can see that the current is moving like this. Okay, the current is moving like this, clockwise direction. Okay, let us see more. What is the direction of magnetic field at the center? Now we have to find out the direction of magnetic field at the center. Now this is very easy question. See, we can make a circle. Okay, let me solve it over here only. So we can make a circle over here only. So this is our circle, and in this circle the current is moving like this, clockwise. So it is very easy to find out the direction of the magnetic field. It is asking what is the direction of magnetic field at the center. So this is the center. At the center, its direction is going to be, we will have to simply put our thumb along the direction of the current, and the fingers will curl along the magnetic field lines. So see, it will be like this, it will go like this, isn't it? So it will go inside. Inside means cross field. For inside, I had told you that you have to show the cross. So inside this circular region, at every point, it means on the center also, at the center also, and at every point the fields are going to be cross field. It means perpendicularly down, the field lines will get inside like this, and tangent will be drawn at particular points of this field lines, and we can get the direction of the magnetic field easily. Okay, and the next it is asking what is the direction of the magnetic field at the point outside the surface. So any point you can take, let us suppose this point also, let us suppose this point also, any point you take. See, let us suppose that okay, first of all take a point over here only. Okay, we are taking a point P over here. So the field is moving like this, and see, it is coming as like this. Okay, it will go up. So the circle will be like this. Circle will be like this. Okay, so here if we draw the tangent, it will go like this. So perpendicularly up. So here the field line will be perpendicularly up. The direction of the fields is perpendicularly up like this. I hope so that you people are understanding. Perpendicularly up. Okay, so at any point you just check out, you will get the same thing. Okay, like if we have to make it like this, so again see, perpendicularly up. At any point outside the circle, it will be dot filled. At everywhere it will be dot filled and dot filled. So I hope so that this question must be clear to you people also. So let us move for one more problem, and I don't want to increase in the size of the video a lot. So let us go for firstly one more problem, and then I think I will try that if it is possible to discuss more problems, then I'll try to discuss, otherwise I'll stop it over here only. So let's move on to the other problem. So it is visible to you people. Okay, now we have to go for the question number 14. So yeah, question number 14 is visible to everyone easily. So it's flashing on question number 15 or 16, so you can easily see the question. Under what conditions permanent electromagnet is obtained if a current carrying solenoid is used? Okay, now we have to answer the question, like it means what is the conditions in which the solenoid is going to produce a permanent electromagnet. It means initially it is going to be showing the magnetic properties due to the current flowing through it, but after that it is going to be a permanent magnet. It means it is becoming a permanent magnet because of the electricity, so that's why we are calling it permanent electromagnet. Okay, so and this is the case of solenoid. Support your answer with the help of a labeled circuit diagram. Okay, no issues, I'll just show the diagram also. So first of all, let us try to understand. So we are having a solenoid like this. We are having a solenoid like, okay, this is the circle. So okay, let me first of all make it. Okay, so we are having a circle, a small circle like this. Okay, so a long type of curls you can just imagine over here. So this is a solenoid, and inside this solenoid we are going to keep one core. So that core can be of metals. The core material should be a good metal, which can show easily a very good characteristics of magnetic characteristics of magnetic properties. Okay, so we can answer this question on two bases. The first thing is that under what so here we are having two types of current, AC and DC. So it is better because DC is not going to fluctuate its magnitude according to the instant, according to time, because it is going to be constant at every instant of time. So that's why if we are going to use the DC direct current of high magnitude, then we are going to have means the permanent electromagnet, and the core material which we are going to use for the solenoid, that should be of very good magnetic material. For example, steel, iron, you can just take these things. Okay, so this can be the answer. Okay, now I'm showing you the diagram, just a second. So here is your diagram, you can easily see. Okay, I think that all of you can easily see this. Yeah, everyone can see this. Okay, now it is visible to everyone easily. So this is see, the solenoid is there, and in this solenoid a core is there. Okay, and this core will become this core might be of steel or iron or some magnetic material, and this is only going to be a permanent electromagnet. I hope so that all of you had understood this now. Now let us move on to the another problem. What is this? Okay, till now it is 16 minutes. We can enhance at least 20 minutes video we can make. Okay, so we can have one more problem. So here is the problem. Okay, so let us firstly have this. Okay, this one with the last problem. Well, after that we can end our video, and if you people want me to discuss more problems, then according to that you people will tell me, then I'll discuss the more problems with you all. Okay, so question number 15 now we have to see. Let's see the question number 15. AB is a current carrying conductor in the plane of the paper. Okay, sorry, AB is a current carrying conductor in the plane of the paper as shown in figure 13.7. So let us first of all see the figure 13.7. Is it visible to everyone? Yes, it is easily visible to everyone. Okay, I can see that. So this is the distance, this is at a this is a particular point P, and this is another point Q. So this is at a distance of R1, this is at a distance of R2. We can easily see that R1 is greater than R2, and that is indicated in the question also. Let us move now, read the question. Let us read the remaining part of the question so that we can understand the question. Okay, it's like, okay, it's flashing, no? Okay, no problem. Now we can easily see this. What are the directions of magnetic fields produced by it at point P and Q? Okay, now at the particular point of P and Q we have to state the direction of magnetic field. Given R1 is greater than R2, where will the strength of the magnetic field be larger? So at what point the magnetic field will be larger? Okay, now it is very easy question. We don't have to use anything else to understand it easily. Again, the right hand thumb rule you can say, or you can say the Maxwell's right hand thumb rule. See, the current is moving in this direction. Let us take it like this. Okay, and it will be like this. So I think so this will be best to make you understand. See, so it is your configuration. The current is moving in this direction. Okay, field lines will be made like this because the fingers are going to be curled like this. So if from this side we see, so it will look like clockwise, again clockwise. So clockwise. So at this point, see, the P is at here and Q is at, okay, P is at here and Q is at here. So at this point, according to the clockwise direction, if we are going to see the field lines at this point, if we draw the tangent, so it will go downwards. It means inside the plane of paper, isn't it? It means perpendicularly down the plane. And at this point, if we'll see at point Q, it will go perpendicularly up, You can easily see this. See, the tangent will be like this. So it is coming perpendicularly up and it is going perpendicularly down. I hope so that you will have understood. Okay, so at this particular point P, what we can say, at this particular point P, what we can say, that it will go, see, it will go down. So at this point perpendicularly down, and at this point perpendicularly up. Okay, now the another question is this, there where will the strength of the magnetic field will be larger? So at the point Q, the magnetic field will be larger because R2 is smaller than R1, and according to the distance it will vary inversely. It means the distance will increase, the magnetic field will decrease. So these things, the magnitude part you have to discuss in your class 12. So there you get to know more about these things. But for here, for now, just we can have this direction thing, and some like it's proportionality, like it depends, magnetic field varies according to the directly proportional to the current, inversely proportional to the distances, like this. Okay, so let us end our video now here only, because it is going to be very enlarged. So thank you everyone for being here, and please let me know if any query you have or anything you want me to discuss more in a more elaborative way. So please let me know. If anyone is having any problem like, sir, why you are always discussing in English all the things, so please discuss some of the things in Hindi also, so I'll try to discuss that also. And please be frank in asking the questions, because this is your time to ask the question. If you don't ask this time, then you are not going to get this time again. Okay, after that you have to answer the question only, you don't have to ask the question. So try to understand this valuable time, my dear everyone, whoever is watching this video, my dear students. So okay, now let's end up our session, and we'll meet again in the next session. Thank you.